So good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Be the Change connection call. This morning, I'm so excited to introduce I just call her a powerhouse because there's just some people on the planet that are high voltage, high wattage, and they know what they want and they show up in that way every day. And they have their internal power completely sorted. And that's how I describe you. That's how I see you. I love that I've been able to spend some time with you, behind the scenes as well, and see just what a beautiful friend and mother that you are, that I respect and love so much. And when it comes to business, what you've really created and how you help us all believe in so much more for ourselves. That's when I think of you, I think of possibility and not settling for crumbs. I love how you take a stand for everyone deserving and being worthy of more. And I often get goosebumps when I hear you talk from that power about we all deserve and it's all here for us and now is our time. So Marina is one of the powerhouses in the network marketing industry. She co-created Network Marketing Pro with her incredible husband, Eric. And she's certainly the woman behind an incredible man. They are a powerful team, which I think the world needs, great examples of husbands and wives, sharing their gifts. And to me, they've become such beautiful friends and mentors who've certainly helped me on some of those times where I lack belief in myself and what's possible. So I'm just so excited that you said yes. You were one of the first who said, I love this idea. Whatever I can do, I'm going to show up and help here, which is such a testament to who you are. So tell me, Marina, you live in Las Vegas. There's so much going on over there, and then all at once, nothing going on. It's the most unique time, globally where we're living. You just shared with me that there's nearly 50% unemployment at the moment in Las Vegas because of all the casinos closing. What could you, I guess, share with us about, with so much uncertainty, swirling around, how do you stay on your path and centered? Because there's a lot of people looking to you. There's a lot of global leaders looking to you and Eric right now. How do you manage that as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, and as the kick-ass leader that you are?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for such a beautiful introduction. It's like you're referring to me as a powerful woman right now, and it was not always like this. It was a journey to get here. I started with the idea that I can do and achieve everything in life. Since I was a little girl, my mom taught me that, and I was naive enough and I believed that. And then life started happening to me. I got different challenges and obstacles in my way as well. I became a single mom. I lost all of my finances, all of my assets that I saved, and I was broken, not just financially, but emotionally as well. So it took me time to find my voice back, to find myself back. And those were years, years of discovery, years of searching for who I am and becoming that woman. So I just wanted to start with basically by saying, no matter where you are today and what is happening in your life, know that it's going to change. It can change if you decide to make that change. And if you don't believe in yourself right now, borrow my belief, because I know that everybody on this call have the lioness or lion inside of you who is waiting to come out. And now is the perfect time for this lioness to show up, because as you said, Linda, we live in a very interesting time right now. And I don't know, I definitely don't remember that. And I've been through some interesting times in my life, but here's the thing. It's not the circumstances, and you've been in Tony Robbins, he's a dear friend of both of us. Tony is saying all the time, it's not about what happens to you, it's how do you react to these things, what matters. And right now, even though we have the winter time, even though it's a spring on the calendar, I consider it to be a winter season that we're all going through. But guess what? The winter is not going to be forever. Spring is coming. I don't know when, unfortunately, but I know it's coming. And how we're going to come out of it and who we're going to be on the other side will depend exactly on what are we doing right now. What's happening with us right now during this winter time is going to define our future, because now is the time for the leaders to show up. And guess how leaders show up? Most of people, they're not considering themselves leaders. They're looking left, they're looking right. And I was like, oh, nobody's doing it. I guess I need to do it. And I'll wait for that person that, you know, magical warrior to show up on the white horse. And in the meantime, I will do those tasks and I will try to lead the people. So I view myself as one of the leaders inside of our profession. And as soon as you, I'm going to tell you in a second what a mess you started. You said that you're going to do the Zoom. And I was like, oh, who wants to jump on it? I was like, I'll jump on it. But then I was like, oh, you know what? There are so many different teams that probably need some encouragement, need some good ideas, need some insight. And I went online and I says like, hey, anybody who has more 100 people that you can put on the Zoom, I'll jump on your Zoom and I'll do the Zoom calls for you. And I got like 100+ requests. So my team is kind of like filling up my calendar. So now on a daily basis, I'm doing 6-7 different Zooms with different people around the world on top of doing my daily job. So, but it's all fun, and it's a great privilege and honor for me to connect with all of you guys around the world, because I feel like in this time, it's important for all of us, first of all, to be connected, but also to remember and understand what is happening in the world. Yes, every time you turn on the TV, it's scary, it's dangerous, and all information is depressing, you know, but right now is very important to make sure that you're guarding your mind from the negative. And I'm not saying to be ignorant, I'm not saying to not educate yourself, but what I'm saying is that you don't need the TV to be the voice in your head 24/7, because if you allow that negative information constantly chirping on you, you're just gonna start feel it, even though you don't necessarily consciously recognize that. Subconsciously, it's gonna start hurting you. It's gonna affect your mood. It's gonna affect your thinking. It's gonna affect you physically, because like even me, I consider myself a strong person, but if once in a while Eric leaves the TV on and it just like chirping and chirping and chirping, I can feel like like tightness in my chest and like a pain in there, because I know that's stress. I know that's the anxiety, what it's there. So first of all, for me, it's important to understand that and immediately shift that situation. But I want to encourage all of you to, if you're not maybe that sensitive and thinking that all the negativity is not damaging you, I promise you it does. So on one side, I want to tell you, make sure that you're protecting your mind from negative, because garbage in, garbage out. And we want to make sure we're not doing that. On the other side, obviously, you need to feed your mind with positive. Jump on calls like this as much as you possibly can. Spend some time with people who are bigger visionaries, who are, you know, help you to overcome the challenges that we're all facing right now, just by saying, you know, it's going to be okay. We're all going to get through this. We're all going to be fine. And giving you some good ideas and concepts of what you can do during this time. Because I don't know if you guys heard, but there is a law of association. And this law is probably right now more important than ever, because even though we are socially distancing from each other, that does not mean that we need to be socially isolated. And the circle of 5 that you have around you, even if they're on the social media or even through different mediums, Zooms and stuff like that, it's important. Those people are important, because law of average is saying basically you're gonna make the same amount of money that all of your 5 friends combined divided by 5, and that's what you expect to be making by the end of the year. And you will be reading what they're reading, you're going to be eating what they're eating, you're going to be watching what they're watching, because just the power of the group of influence, it's just going to affect your life. So make sure that the people that you're surrounding yourself with are pushing you forward, are helping you to break through, helping you to become a better leader, helping you to become a better person, and not necessarily accelerating your anxiety or depression or anything like this. Because I'm not a doctor, and obviously I'm not going to give you any medical advices here, but my biggest fear that once this whole thing's said and done, yes, they're going to be some people whose health going to be severely affected, and some people going to die. And yes, the economic situation going to be damaging for millions and millions of people around the world. But my biggest fear, and I'm praying and I'm hoping that I'm so wrong, but my biggest fear is we're going to have so many more mentally sick people, depressed people, because it's one thing, you know, to go through negative information. Another thing is to go through depression in financial sides, and being fired for no news when you're going to go back to work. Because I don't know how about Australia or anywhere in Europe, wherever you guys are connecting from, but in the United States, and I bet you around the world, it's pretty much the same. On average, people have about 1 or 2 months of savings to survive without their income. And that's what majority of the people are worried about, because while we all kind of like closed for business, most of the people closed for business, they have no income, they have no way to survive. And that's what leads me to the amazing opportunity that network marketing is, because inside of our profession, we actually have a solution. We always had it, but right now it's kind of like, it's more handy than ever before. And especially with you guys, you have an amazing product that is helping people to live healthier life and be more responsible with your body. Because, you know, a crazy thing, I went to the grocery store, what, like a week ago, whenever, you know, everybody started going crazy and went shopping. And you can see the chaos, and those of you who went to the grocery stores, you know what's happening. So you can see the chaos, people are buying all kinds of like rice and pastas and all canned food and all kinds of stuff. And I guess that people looked at me like I'm a Looney Tune, because I was grabbing vegetables. I was grabbing salads and vegetables and all that stuff, because like, these are my vitamins. That's what I need the most always, and right now especially. So my cart was like pounds and pounds of oranges and mandarins and salads and different kinds of vegetables. So, and here's the thing, shelves with vegetables, they were full. Nobody was touching them. You know, even right now with the whole scary healthy situation that we have, and everybody pounding that there is no cure, your biggest protection is your immune system. And right now, you just need to hope and pray that it's strong enough to withhold it. Okay, this is your biggest soldier that it's fighting for you on a daily basis. And people still don't understand that you need to make sure that you protect your body with good food, with good nutrition, and with, you know, being responsible. So you guys have the product that it's absolutely helping people with in these specific circumstances. On the other side, you have an amazing opportunity, because a lot of people got fired. A lot of people are staying home. First of all, they don't know what to do home, because they're not used to this kind of a lifestyle. They're not used to be working from home, because they drive to work, they work their 8 to 5 job, and then they come back home, and then they have their evening routine with kids, the food, whatever, laundry, and off you go. Next day, the same thing. So now all of a sudden they're all staying home, and people don't know what to do and how to behave and how to adapt to the situation. But on the other side, a lot of people who lost the job, some of those jobs you cannot do online. You cannot do from home. You know, it's like if you're a waitress in a restaurant, you cannot be waitress online. You know, if you're doing some kind of a job like this, I mean, cleaning homes or whatever it might be, you cannot do it online. You know, it's kind of like funny a little comment. My sister-in-law sent a post online that her housekeeper said that for the next couple of weeks, she will be working from home, and she sent her instructions how to clean the house. You know, so it's kind of like, it's a joke, it's funny, but for a lot of people, like some of those jobs that you cannot substitute and transfer them. So all of these people are looking for different options. They're looking for solution. They're willing to take a deeper look and be open for different opportunities. So, and we have one. One of the things that I want to kind of like bring to your attention, because obviously as everybody jumping online and everybody's conducting their business online, now I see more than ever before what people are doing right and what people are doing wrong. One of the things is, first of all, and those of you who just started in the business, or maybe you were in the business but not necessarily very successful, I understand your pain. I've been in your shoes, because I joined my first network marketing company when I was 21 years old. Some people think that my introduction to network marketing was marrying Eric Worre, but I actually knew this profession a little before that. So at 18 years old, I started my own business, and at 21, I joined my first network marketing company. And I remember the frustration, I remember the anxiety, I remember the just the sadness of when people make fun of you, when they look crazy at you and they call you stupid, and they say like, how much money did you make last month? What exactly are you doing for a living? Did you join this whole pyramid thing? So, you know, when they start questioning your sanity and your decisions and laughing in your face, I know it's painful, I know it's hard. But here's the thing, I'm begging you, don't take right now as an opportunity to take those cheap shots at them and show them who is right, who is wrong now. Because all these people are really hurting. People who lost their jobs, like I said, Linda, before we started this call, in Las Vegas, as you guys probably know, most of our city is what? Casinos, hotels, restaurants, nightclubs, and different shows. Obviously, all of them are closed. So in Las Vegas alone, we have the unemployment over 50%. So all these people are petrified with fear, staying at home and trying to figure out and wrap their head around how they're going to survive tomorrow. So make sure to be responsible and lead with love, lead with care, because I think if you actually come out from the place of true interest and true desire of helping people, you will be so way better off as a business person, and growing your team and providing your products. But also we as a profession overall, we will be way better, because what happens, why we have such a bad reputation around the world. And it's funny because depends on where Eric and I traveling. Like I go to Australia and people's like, no, you Americans, like you are very, very kind of like, you know, bubbly and too excited, and you understand network marketing, you like it. We don't like it in Australia. And I was like, yeah, you know, and then I go to Germany and they tell me, it's like, we Germans, we're ta. We're so strict and we are like all on point, and you all wishy-washy all over the place. So we don't necessarily like network marketing here. And it doesn't matter where I go. Everywhere I hear pretty much the same story, that people saying like, oh, we are different here. We are not necessarily such big fans of network marketing. And I want to tell you, nobody's different. Yes, we have different nationalities, ages, backgrounds, and all that stuff. But here's the thing. We all, as a humanity, as a human race, we want pretty much the same things. We want to make sure that we have the food on our tables. We want to make sure that we have the roof over our heads. We want to be loved. We want to have fun. And those are pretty much some basic needs. We want to be trusted and respected. And that's about it. And I don't care where you live. We pretty much want those same things. And unfortunately, the bad taste in the mouth about network marketing, it's not just in your country or my country or whatever place. But the thing is, I feel like we deserve that, because we actually helped or created this situation by being pushy, by instead of truly caring about people, we're acting as hunters and we're trying to hunt them. And it's like, yeah, I got another one. Now it's my customer. Now you're going to be my distributor. I mean, it's not about you building the team and you fulfilling your needs. It's about you, through your products and opportunities, helping people to solve their problems, helping people to solve their needs. If you shift this focus a little bit, you're gonna be so much better off, like I said, as a business person or just as a human being in general. On the other side, I feel like we in network marketing, we just love extremes. We just go from one extreme to another extreme. So now when I'm seeing all these people jumping online and pitching their opportunity and products, they start overstating it on such a big scale. I'm seeing people saying like, oh, my product cures cancer. Oh, my product cures COVID-19 and blah, blah, blah. It's like, come on, guys, be responsible. you don't need to overstate the amazing results that your products can produce. Be responsible, because you will be more trusted as a distributor, as a leader, but also we have the responsibility towards the company, because if the company gonna get hit by FTC or different regulations, I mean, everybody gonna lose the business. You need to make sure that you're protecting a golden goose and being responsible with your product claims and your opportunity claims. You don't need to tell people that they're gonna replace what they lost at their job tomorrow. You don't need to tell people that they're gonna become 6- and 7-figure earner overnight, because that's not true. They cannot do that. It's not possible. So first of all, it's not fair to give them a false hope, especially in these critical and uncertain times. But what you can tell them is like, hey, I can show you the way how you can make a little bit of cash right now by buying the product at a wholesale price, retailing it at the to your friends and family, make that little margin, and you can make that difference, $200, $300, $500, whatever it is. And that's exactly what majority of the people are looking for right now. They're not looking to become a millionaire at this time. They're looking how to put the food on their table. They're looking how to pay that mortgage. That's what they need. They need a couple $100 to get their ends meet. So show them how you can do it. And here's the thing. If they want to do it as a temporary, that's fine. And if they say it's like, hey, I'm going to just do it while Corona is happening, and as soon as I get my job back, I'm going to go back to my work, it's totally cool. It's totally fine. And if they decide to work with you, if they decide to lock arms and make a decision to either do it part-time or full-time, then you can tell them, I can show you how taking a serious effort into developing the skills, into developing your mindset, into developing yourself as a leader, I can show you how over time you can build that 6- and 7-figure income. So all of that is realistic, and people are going to trust you way better, because we're not growing magic beans here. And every time we overstate and say something that it's not realistic, people are not going to buy it. And those that gonna buy it, they're gonna come out of this unsatisfied and blaming you or network marketing that it doesn't work. In the reality, network marketing does work, and really, really well. We're producing over 200 billion a year in revenue. $200 million in commissions are paid every single day to distributors, just like all of you. So it is working. It's a pretty powerful industry. It's a pretty powerful profession. But if you come to this profession with some kind of a lottery mentality, if you come to this business to get rich quick or something like that, it's just not this thing. I mean, I cannot do it. I cannot show you how to do that either. So just being realistic with your expectations, that you're showing them what's possible for them through your products, through your opportunity, and leading with love and care is really, really important. So those are kind of like the things that I'm seeing lately. And I want to encourage you to be smart and act as a professional, because the world is watching. Everybody's watching. Everybody's seeing who is posting what, who is saying what. And it just can bite you later on if you don't do it proper. And like I said, understand that now is not the time to put your head in the sand. Now is the time to take action. Now is the time to step it up, because I heard not that long ago, the Treasury Secretary said one amazing quote. He said, I have two news for you, bad and good. Good news is we're going to win the war. Bad news is we need to fight the battle. We do need to fight the battle with this Corona. And unfortunately, and I don't know, maybe some of your medical workers, you are the heroes, but I'm not capable of curing for sick people. I'm not capable of developing the vaccine. I'm not capable of creating the cure. But what I'm capable is helping people see the light at the end of the tunnel. What I'm capable is to transfer my belief into your belief and move you into action, so you can have a better opportunity when this whole thing is over. So instead of focusing on things that you cannot control, you need to shift your focus on what is in your abilities, what is in your talents, what is in your reach to do. Yes, be responsible and don't spread the virus, and don't go on the beach and just, spread it to everybody else. But be responsible on one side, but also make sure that you focus on what are the things that you personally can do encourage the people, not just jumping on somebody else's calls, but create your own calls. Bring your friends, bring your family, because like I said, this whole social distancing is turning into social isolation for a lot of people, because unfortunately, some of them, they don't have the community they can tap into. I think that network marketing is going to see a huge spike coming out of this pandemic, because I was just on a corporate call with one of my corporate clients, and I've been on several calls already today. And like I said, I've been probably on several dozens of calls in the last few days. And everywhere I hear the same story: our business never been better. Our business is booming. We're growing like crazy, because especially those companies that have anything to do with wellness and personal kind of like hygiene, or personal immune system, or food, whatever, vitamins, everybody's just crushing through the sky. And all these people are understanding that now is the time to go and take things to the next level. So I want to encourage you to understand that they're going to be winners and losers, and in what spectrum you want to end up being will depend on what exactly are you doing right now. So yeah, I can continue to talk, but I'm sure you guys have some questions.
I love it. There's so many great points that I'd love to delve into more. Right at the start, and I really like this, you said that, you know, we all have the lion or the lioness who needs to take charge and take hold at the moment. You know, I'm curious, how do you do that? How do you transition? Because we wear many, many hats. At the moment, we're homeschooling, we're leading teams, we're leading customers, we're leading ourselves. You know, then we're psychologists, because everyone's having all these emotions around us, including us. How do you stay focused in that? Because I do see you very deliberate and very focused. You have the eye of the tiger. So I definitely would love to know how you bring that about.
Well, like I said, you know, right now, especially all the uncertain times, the times for the leader to arise. And so that's how the new leaders show up. And it's time for the existing leaders also to show their true face and true leadership. So I felt, first of all, my obligation to get in touch with as many people as I.
Did I just lose sound? Is that just me? Something just happened. We lost your volume for a second. Okay, while she's doing that, what I loved, can you hear me, guys? Wave if you can hear me. Okay, while Marina's sorting her volume, what I just heard then was, don't talk about it and think about it, do it. Leadership is doing. You show the way and you go the way. So, you know, what Marina was already talking about was, we don't just think about being the lioness, we go out and we do it. We get on the calls, we create the calls, and we show up for other people, and we say, how can I be of service? How can I help you? So I love that. Can we hear you yet, honey? No. Not yet.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Because my microphone died. Sorry. See, I have like fancy technology here. So and the battery died. So I'm just I just switched to the computer audio. So you guys can hear me.
Right. Okay. So keep going.
Okay. Perfect.
We're about to say show the way.
Yeah, so basically what I was saying is that you need to be a leader, and as a leader, you need to show up and lead, and that's what I'm trying to do the best way I know how. So in my case, I'm playing two different roles. One of them is being a leader in the profession and inspiring women and men, and just trying to do my best and jump on as many calls as I possibly can and connect with as many people as I possibly can to spread the message, to empower and give some good ideas. On the other side, I'm also a business owner, right? Because Network Marketing Pro is the company. We are a for-profit organization. So as a business owner, I also need to adjust and adapt to the existing situation. So when everything started happening, Eric and I, we sat down and we decided to to take a look, first of all, what our business looks like, what's going to happen if we're not going to have income for the next month, 2, 3, or God knows how long. So obviously, as a business, we decided that we need to make sure to take a close look to our expenses. And obviously our salaries for our staff, a big chunk of those expenses. So we know that the whole uncertain time gonna pass. We know that the situation gonna change, and we wanted to keep our team intact on one side, because I know I'll need them as soon as we're ready to come out of it. On the other side, I feel the huge responsibility to all these families that are dependent on my success. So instead of firing people inside of our small company, we decided to cut the salaries across the board. So as owners, we took the biggest hit, and then my execs took another bigger hit, and then slowly we kind of like trickled it down through the whole organization, pretty much not taking anything from people who are making very little. So that was our decision as owners. And I bet you your ownership is doing exactly the same thing right now. They're looking at their expenses as a company, and they're in some cases they might need to fire some people. In some cases they just need to make sure that, you know, the trains are running on time for you to have the products to be shipped to your customers, for your checks to be delivered to all of you guys on time. So those guys have a lot of sleepless nights, the same way as I do, and definitely more than I do, because you're a way bigger company than me with way bigger infrastructure. But here's the thing. Why am I telling all of you this? Not to scare you, but also for for you to understand and appreciate what you have as a distributor, because you have the business, you are the business. And being a distributor in your company or in any company in network marketing is a huge blessing, because you have the company infrastructure taking care of all those elements so you can conduct the business. Your business is business as usual. That's not necessarily the same situation for a lot of people around the world and all small businesses. So you have unlimited upside as the entrepreneur without the headache or weight that comes with it. So on one side, I want you to all understand this and see what an amazing blessing it is to be an independent distributor. On the other side, I want to make sure that you remember to share this with your prospects, because a lot of people want to be entrepreneur and they don't know how to start, where to go, and what to do. So you can tell them, like, hey, I can show you the way how, with the support system of my company, with them taking care of all the logistics, all the headache and everything, you just bring your leadership, you just bring your passion and excitement and willingness to work. I mean, what is the better situation that you would want? So I think that understanding that part and showing people what they have inside of network marketing is a big deal. So for me, I feel like my job right now is to share this message with a lot of people. My job right now is to, first of all, be a beacon of hope, beacon of light for a lot of people around the world, but also give them tips and ideas how to conduct the business in a professional way. Like I shared with you early on, don't overstate your product, don't overstate your opportunity, don't take cheap shots, and be human, you know, just help other people, because a lot of people are hurting. Millions and millions of people are hurting. And here's the beautiful thing. You have the gift inside of your company, inside of your products. You have the gift, and don't be so selfish and not share this gift just because you don't feel comfortable, just because you're afraid, just because you maybe feel like, oh, now is not the time to take advantage of people by promoting my products or my opportunity. Here's the thing, you are not taking advantage of anybody. You are providing a solution to millions of people. You have the gift and you have to share it, but it's up to them to take it or not. You're not gonna convince anybody, or you don't need to drag anybody through the finish line and make sure that they join you as a customer or as a distributor. That's not what we do for a living. What we do, we show people the opportunity, we show people the gift that we have, to the point that they understand. They truly need to understand, and that's why you need to become professional in your skills, so they can understand what you have, instead of kind of like
pushing you with all different objections when you kind of like shying away and you don't know how to handle them. But if you do it in a professional way and they understand and they made a decision that they don't want to do this business, that's totally fine. I mean, it's like not everybody gonna be entrepreneur, not everybody gonna be in business for themselves. So this is kind of like what I'm doing. And of course, like Eric and I were trying to create as many different online experiences, because right now physical events are being canceled, and we're trying to do our best, just creating different online experiences and making sure that we still providing this message and sharing it with the world in these uncertain times when it's more important than ever.
I love, and I think it's so useful because we do have, you know, an unprecedented amount of brand new people as well who have said yes to, you know, something. They get that there is something here as a solution. And I love that you're saying, you know, balance now. Don't be, you know, not using our emotional intelligence and be like, oh, look at me over here. I'm booming and I'm doing amazing and you should be here. And it's been a common question over the past few days, and I've heard a few different leaders answer it. I'd love to hear yours. How do you reach out to people right now and offer the solution and not be taking advantage? What do you think some of the key points are on how to actually do that? Because I'm not a believer in the perfect script. I am a believer in really good verbiage and intention and state. Helps us really get that across. So
Right.
Could you talk us about that?
Well, first of all of our businesses, or any businesses, are conversations. So whatever medium you're going to use to start the conversation, it doesn't really matter, because you can start it on your phone, just start texting people, or you can message on Facebook, on Instagram, or whatever, WhatsApp, or different platforms that we all using to stay in touch with people. There are so many different technologies that we can stay in touch and connect with people, and make sure that you understand that some people say like, oh, I don't know anybody. That's not true. You just look in your phone and I bet you there are a couple hundred people just right there. And if you jump on your social media outlets, you'll find a couple thousand friends there, a couple thousand friends here. And in most cases, you never said hi to these people. So instead of just immediately launching into like, oh, I have the opportunity for you, get to know them. If you don't know these people, understand you will need some time to build that relationship, to build that trust. It's just not going to happen overnight. With people that do know you, with people that do trust you, then yes, you can go a little bit more direct with the message that you have. And still, you don't need to, when you start those conversations, don't ever have in mind the end goal being you signing them up as a customer or as a distributor. If you have the end goal for them, for you to give them a gift, for you to share with them how your product can help them to be more healthier, how your products can help them to be more responsible with their vitamins and their well-being of their body, right? So if you do that, and then if they want, or if you feel like they might be interested in the financial opportunity, you tell them, it's like, hey, by the way, I can do this, I can help you, I can show you how you can have your product for free. I can show you how you can make a supply of several months of that product for free by just sharing it with your friends and family, exactly like I did with you. So just understanding that conversations, that's what's going to be your biggest friend. And don't get hung up on what piece of technology you're going to use. Just make sure you're being a human being, and just make sure you're being interested in them instead of trying to be interesting, and when I say that, like you said, Linda, some people ask me like, oh, what's the script? What's the script? Tell me the perfect verbiage. And I'm like, I can give you all of that. But here's the thing. If people are going to sense that you're talking like a robot, they're not going to do business with you. I mean, once in a while, if I need the customer service from one of the fancy websites like Apple or whatever, obviously they utilizing the AI, artificial intelligence. And yes, they can fool me for a couple seconds that I'm thinking that I'm talking to human, but then few seconds in, I'm realizing that I'm talking to a machine, and I'm talking to a robot. So make sure that you are not being that AI and trying to fool people that you know how they feel and how they talk and what they do and what they think. Be the human being, because people will sense your robotic answer so fast and it's going to turn them off. So being you, being like, if you bubbly and shiny person, just continue to be you. If you're a little bit more shy and a little bit less outgoing, then just be you, because that's totally fine. That's why certain group of people will attract to you that will not attract to me, because I might be way too much for them, you know. And even though I'm a shy person, that's hard to believe it, but that's true. You know, it took me time to kind of like, and through our profession, to get comfortable with myself and be comfortable in front of other people. So don't try to kind of like know all the answers. Don't try to be perfect. I'm seeing people getting lost in the land of constant learning and doing nothing. That's not going to work. Just by being involved in your company, just being involved in network marketing is not going to build the business. You need to take actions, because the best learning is in the doing. All those skills that Eric is teaching in his book, they're, no matter how many times you read the book, no matter how many times you watch the courses, but until you start talking to people, until you start, you know, making those mistakes, until you start stumbling, you're not going to learn, because that's how human race is. It's part of our nature. We learn through the trial and error. And you try one time and then you take a note. Oh, that didn't work good. Okay, I probably need to change this a little bit. I need to shift that a little bit, and plan, do review, you know, create that presentation that you think is so good and so wonderful, right? Go with it, and you will learn immediately that might not be so wonderful. And the questions that you thought that your potential distributor customer are going to ask you might be way out of the whack, and you are not ready for them. So don't go into the, you know, don't stop and don't be like paralyzed with fear if you don't know how to answer the question. You just need to just be human and say, hey, this is an excellent question. Let's find the answer together, because I'm not necessarily sure what to say at that. But guess what? My sponsor, if we can put her or him on a three-way call, I'm sure he can or she can help us figure it out. Or I know that there is a video on our website that if we watch that video, it has that answer. Oh, by the way, I have this magazine right here. Let's read it right here. It says exactly what you're asking, those ingredients or whatever it might be. So just be normal, because guess what? In everybody's head, there are several questions that they're asking while they're listening for your presentation. They're asking like, can I do what she does? Or can I do what he does? Because your presentation is already your training for them, what they will be doing if they decide to join you, because that's what they think that they should be doing with everybody. So if you aren't wrestling them, I mean, a lot of people will say, I don't want to do that. I cannot do this. If you're so perfect and so scripted and know every perfect line, and people will say, I'm not that good. I will never be so good as she is. I can't do it. So make sure that you give yourself room for an error. You make sure that you're being normal and reliable and relatable, because that's what people are looking for. They want to understand, can they trust you? Can they do business with you? Can they make money with you? So if they can answer yes to all of these questions, then yeah, they will join your business or your product. They will do something with you, because remember, people don't join companies. People don't join opportunities or products. People join people. So every time you're talking to somebody, they're thinking about joining you, not just Plus, not whatever team, not whatever corporate, nothing. They're joining you, because this is who they're going to be working with. And if they trust you, if you build enough of relationship, if you build enough of respect with all these people, then yeah, they're more likely they will do business with you. So just understand that there is nothing fancy in our business. I mean, just treat it as a business. As long as you understand that network marketing is a business. We're not get rich quick scheme. We're not a project. We're not a thing. We are a profession. We are a business. And like any business, it's going to take time. It's going to take time for you to develop those skills. It's going to take time for you to develop your mindset. It's going to take time for you to become a powerful and strong leader who can inspire that team to grow and, you know, duplicate itself. You know, it's like house. It's like building a home. You need to have a solid foundation. If you don't have a solid foundation, your house is not going to last. You don't want to build a skyscraper on the sand. You need to build it on a solid foundation, and it takes time. It takes time. You need to clear the lot. You need to take all the debris out. You need to lay out the plan. You need to pour the concrete. All of those things take time. And understand that, because I know when those people are calling you and laughing that, oh, how much money are you making? And you are not making enough to even compare with anything. That's the time that you need to understand one of the key concepts of network marketing. In network marketing, there are 3 stages, okay? One stage is when you're gonna be drastically underpaid. And that time can take pretty good chunk. For some people, it can take several months. For some people, it can take several years. And I don't know, it depends on the person. There is no magic number, what is right or what is wrong. Everybody has their own journey. But there's gonna be a period of time when you're gonna be drastically underpaid. And this is the time when you're building this foundation. This is the time when you're laying the future of the base of your future empire. So it's gonna take time, and make sure to understand that during that time you put your blinders on and you're being focused on developing you, on developing your skills, on developing your mindset, and you don't look left and you don't compare anything or anybody. Don't compare yourself with the people in the corporate job. You don't compare yourself with other business owners, and you don't even compare with people on your team. Don't compare, because you don't know that somebody, you cannot compare your chapter 1 with somebody's chapter 20. Just because you both in the same company, that does not mean that that other person who joined with you at the same time, they might be a rock star who's been in the profession for 20 years, who knows the skills, who has the leadership, who has the stamina and knows how to do this, and you just getting started and you just learning all of this. So don't compare those things. The only comparison you have to have is with yourself. How did you do today in comparison? How did you do yesterday? How are you doing tomorrow in comparison? How are you doing today? I'm big in competition, okay? In the sense like I refuse to lose, period. That's my mantra, and I'm probably the worst loser you will ever meet. And unfortunately, I think that I even gave it to my kids. They inherited it with the DNA. So they're bad losers as well. But here's the thing, because I understand I cannot, there was a period in my life when I was comparing with myself with Eric. And I realized really quickly, I'm gonna lose that game. I will never be as amazing speaker as he is. I will never have that much experience as he has, because my journey was different. I had the entrepreneurial background since I was 18 years old. I have high degree education. He's barely escaped high school. I mean, I'm coming from the communist country. He was born and raised in capitalism. There are so many things that are different about us. And I cannot put it on the plain level field, and I cannot compare it. But what I decided to do a long time ago, I'm gonna be the best I can be, and I'm gonna let him be best he can be. And yes, there are certain things that frustrate me, because I think I'm like, as you can probably imagine, I'm like organized. I'm like tuck. I have like all my things scheduled. I have everything lined up. I know what I'm doing tomorrow. I've got this, right? And he is like that, you know, he's like a typical visionary, typical, you know, what's that word? Not just the legend, but the person who is like so amazing and so powerful and so big in their thinking. And he's just like, oh, look, the butterfly, and he's gone. You know, so for me, it drives me crazy. I have almost on a daily basis, I cannot go to sleep if I have unanswered emails. And I know it's a little too much. So I'm kind of like working on it, and like I feel already good if I have 10 emails that are unanswered. I'm I'm okay. But he has 40,000, 50,000 unanswered text messages and emails and all kinds of stuff. So it drives me crazy. But here's the thing, can I change him? I can't. I can influence a positive change in him, but here's the thing. I need to know what I'm doing best. I need to allow him to do what he's doing best. And together we find that middle ground, how we can work as a couple, how we can work as business partners. So we make sure instead of pointing on each other's weaknesses, we amplifying on each other's strengths. And that's the secret to a happy marriage, and that's the secret to business union, because that's how we do everything. So, and I'm kind of like a little bit off the topic. I don't even remember where I started and how I ended up here, but I think it's important for all of us just to understand that not comparing yourself and continuing to moving forward, and not necessarily hoping to have all the things figured out right away. Just start doing, because when you start making those mistakes, when you start making those learning from those experiences, you'll get better. Yes, 3 stages. So there is the first stage is you're going to be drastically underpaid for a period of time, and that's might take a long time. Okay, so then they're going to be a short period of time when you're going to be fairly paid. So at this stage, if you compare yourself with your other friends or your other business owners, yeah, you're kind of making the same amount of money as they are with the amount of hours that you're putting in. But here's the thing. There is a third and the most important part in network marketing that does not exist in most of the businesses. You're going to be drastically overpaid for long periods of time. Why? Because of the leverage that we have, because of the power of network, because of the power of building the team that is working 24/7. Because while you guys waking up in Australia, I'm finishing up my business day in the United States. So your teams in States are already producing and working, and you know they're bringing volume to the company and making money. So at the same time, when I will be sleeping, you guys will be working. So while I'm kind of like having my sweet dreams, you will be helping me make money as a team leader. So understanding those things. And if you build a serious team, if you build it strong and powerful, there's gonna come a time that the team will not even need you. They will go and grow with or without you. That doesn't mean that that's the time that you need to go into success coma. That means that that's the time when you can slow down, when you can go a little bit more in a management mode. And if you, it's kind of like a plane, you know, when the plane takes off, in order for the plane to take off, it needs to put the full throttle. It needs to go all in, all out. Otherwise, the plane is not gonna take off. But guess what? Plane is not gonna be flying like this for forever, because plane, otherwise you're gonna burn the engines and you're gonna burn out of the fuel. So at some point, when the plane takes the level that they wanna get to, it levels off and it's flying. And you can comfortably, that's when you start taking drinks, that's when you start watching movies, that's when you start kind of like getting comfortable, sipping your glass of wine or whatever, right? But here's the thing, if you are not comfortable with this height and you wanna take your plane to the next height, you need to pull the full throttle again, and you need to push that, to put a lot of activity, go all in again, bring a new fresh class, bring a new fresh team of people into your organization so you can catapult your business again to the next height. And then you can manage it on that level. And then you can go that unlimited amount of time. Depends on what are your ambitions, depends on what are your goals. So you can get to the heights, I mean, as far as you can go, as far as you want to go. Just understand, first of all, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time to build a team, bring that fresh class of 2020, but then you need to work with this group. You need to teach them. You need to teach them the skills. You need to expand their vision, their mindset, and teach them necessary steps so they can go out and recruit their class, so they can go out and teach those people. And then when you have, and when you see that that team is already fairly solid and you're ready to go on the next run, you go into the next run. And and not stopping, because here's the thing, inside of network marketing, your check is the total reflection of how many lives you were able to touch and change. And if your check is very little, that tells me that you still have some work to do, that you need to develop your skills, your leadership, to the point so you can meet the ambition of how many people you want to help. So if you already at the higher level and you're making top 6 and 7 figure income on this call, first of all, I want to congratulate you. You absolutely deserve all of this. But on the other side, I want to challenge you, because here's the thing. You know the skills, you have the mindset, you have what it takes, you know what it takes. So instead of just, you know, being on the top and enjoying the view by yourself, you might want to just grab a couple more people with you to that top, because yes, the view from the mountaintop and from the high level of your success is amazing. But if you're the only person enjoying it, it's not so much fun. So once you get to the top of the Empire State Building, don't forget to send the elevator down and bring as many people as you possibly can. Become a mentor to all of these people. And here's the thing, you just ask them, because people is like, oh, how do I know who do I teach? I don't have time for everybody. You just do the inventory. You ask them and tell them to raise their hand if they're interested to become a leader, if they want to change their life, if they're willing to work hard, if they want to go to next height. You know, so if they say yes, then you work with them. But guess what? It's not just enough for them to say yes. It's important for them to actually do some actions necessary to prove you that they're serious. So you basically will be giving them some assignments, and based on those assignments, how they react to them, if they're doing it or not, you will know you got somebody. You will know that you got somebody ambitious, hungry, coachable, and willing to learn and willing to do the work. And if they are, lock arms with them, attach them to your hip, and help them to become as badass as you are, or even better, because there is no better compliment for a teacher, for a trainer, than having training and teaching somebody when their mentee surpasses the trainer, surpasses the teacher. This is the biggest compliment that I can ever have, or Eric, or any of us. So I would encourage you to do what it takes and help the next person, help the next generation of leaders to rise up.
Oh, that was so exciting, Marina. It's, you know, we've almost had the most incredible hour here with you. And I just, you know, here's what I want to finish with, everyone. I'm taking notes like crazy, because you just got me so excited and always reinvigorated for the gift that we have, that we get to help hungry people who really, it's go time, and it's who wants to create a change, and we really can run with those, and others who are still learning the skills. I loved the reminder, especially today, about the stages. It's so worth it. I mean, when I first started, you know, it was pre-Facebook, it was pre-Zoom, it was the start of the global financial crisis. Lauren, our beautiful friend, you know, the size of her heart. Lauren cared enough, guys, to say, you know what, my friend, what if you could do this? You know, I see you. I see that this is rough. This is a tough time for you. What if you could do this with me? Such a powerful question that opened up so much possibility for me. And when I started, I wasn't over-promised and under-delivered. I understood that I was getting into at least a 4-year career. 3 to 5 years is what Jeff and Cheryl had always taught Lauren, and she was a great teacher to me. And so I understood that I would be underpaid for a time. And in that time, I was like a little squirrel, the little engine, like, I'm going to show them, I'm going to show them. And I would kind of use the doubt as my fuel. And I knew, I've always felt like we have the golden ticket. People just don't understand it. But I'm going to show the way like a leader. And I had so much incredible leadership, always reminding me of that. And you've given me personally so many gifts today, Marina, to remind people of the stages that we're drastically underpaid, like dismal, miserable at the start. And it's your test to see, do you really want this? And are you going to last the distance? And you don't have the skills yet. So don't complain about it. Just get to work and get the skills. Then you'll be fairly paid. And you never lose sight of, we're going to be drastically overpaid. This is the quote that I'm going to finish on. when you can work like not many people will for a couple of big years of sowing and sowing and sowing and sowing, you can live like most people never will. Give those few years, your heart, your soul, your spirit, to learning the skills and helping other people and pouring everything that you learn into others. And then you can have so much more than anyone would ever dream of, you know, on the other side. And we can be at the success table too long. We can get in the success coma. I certainly was there for a while. And I'm just putting myself back in. So is Lauren. We're more fired up than ever to reach down, to send the elevator down. So here's my request to each of you. Who's hungry? Who wants to come all the way up to the top? The view is amazing. And we have more mountains to conquer. We have a lot more people, because our profession, as Eric always says, it's not perfect, but it is freaking amazing. And it helps us out. We outplay, outlast everything else around us. And this uncertain time, we have a gift and we have solutions. I'm deeply grateful for you, Marina. I've loved getting to know you. And you and Eric, Lauren, Jeff, and Cheryl give me so much courage and strength to keep growing and expanding. We have a big job ahead. So thank you so much. I know you're nearly hoarse from all that you've been gifting everyone. Can everyone please, I'm going to go to gallery view so we can just send Marina lots of love and waves and thank yous.